Am I crazy for expecting this?
Cutting that person off, that's okay, right?
Boundaries are, to some degree, a protective thing, but you will still get hurt. They shouldn't be like your bulletproof vest.
There's the additional sexual boundaries as well that come into play.
Oh, this is not a real thing. This has not happened, has it?
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Welcome to NOIS.
NOIS.
No one is safe.
And no topic continues to remain safe, people.
Remains. Today's topic is so good.
I'm so excited about this one, guys.
Same. What is today's topic?
Today's topic is called boundaries or barriers. We'll be delving into this quite a bit today. I know we've touched on it before,
yeah,
but we'll get to why we're going into it a little bit more.
Totally. Before we start, just want to say a quick thank you to our sponsors, TUI Medical.
We've
said it before, I'll say it again. Jump onto their website, www.tuimedical.co.nz. They are still open to taking new patients. So if you're over your doc and you want a new doc, hit up TUI.
Yes. And by the way, while we're on that note, did you know that TUI had a hearing test center?
Pardon?
TUI had a hearing test center.
What's that?
I think you might. You sure you don't want to touch it? I think you might
I can't hear you. What did you say?
You might need to. So, guys, TUI has a center called Tobex. Tobex is run by TUI Medical, and this is where you go and get hearing tests. We do hearing tests, ear exams, wax removals, and so much more. So
maybe that's what I need.
I think you
so
might
it's not
need
like air candling.
Yes, if we were in 1920.
It would stop.
It would. They would be doing that then. Right now, we have high-tech stuff doing microsuctioning and a big microscope that looks in the ear, looks at the quality of the eardrum, and looks at all those cute little bits to make sure you're.
So if you think you're having trouble hearing, go and get it checked.
At any stage, you should just always check your hearing, especially when you start getting to that prehistoric age like us.
Maybe I need to set an appointment.
You too. I'll do it for you.
Okay.
While we're on that, I will go on to just say some special mentions based on our topic today. Obviously, our topic today is on boundaries, and a lot of these sort of topics stem from, self-help and how to achieve that. And here in New Zealand, in Auckland is Auckland-based psychologist. Onlinehelp.co.nz. They are a really, really good online psychologist. So if you're kind of not keen on
like that in
going
person,
in,
physically,
exactly. If you're like the physical going in, you can go on their website and you can drop a message, and they're great for mental health and personal well-being conversations.
Cool.
So, background. Why are we talking about this, Hoana?
It's quite topical, right?
It really is.
Hit me with the actual background.
I will give you this. So obviously it's a very wide topic, and we have touched on this, in bits and bobs over the previous episodes. But today we want to kind of approach it in a bit more depth. I think me and you both believe that it's pretty fundamental in navigating adulthood. Boundaries are something that they don't really teach us, even as kids in school. It's not something that, it's one of those kind of lessons you learn on the road along the way.
Yeah.
Some of us later than others, but it's really, really a cornerstone to a healthy adult life, or at least navigating a healthy adult life.
Talking about the definition of boundaries, there is that actual physical taking on it. So it's what one would call a line in the sand. But metaphorically, metaphorically, the rules and guidelines that you set for yourself, that you expect others to adhere to, right? So it's also, yes, they're your boundaries, so people should be respectful of that. For me personally, I never thought, like you mentioned before, it's something that you kind of learn along the way, and for me, I never really classed the whole boundary setting as that until later in life.
Yeah.
And then realizing that I had been doing it all my life. Anyways, but not necessarily communicating it the way I should have been.
Yeah.
So then getting upset if someone's crossing those boundaries, but they didn't know that was a boundary.
And they may have not even themselves understood what boundaries are. Maybe they did.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you like that. I like that you put it that way. For me, it's like where I stop and where somebody else starts.
Yeah.
Like, what am I willing and not willing to do versus what is somebody else
or
accept doing. And for me that's when I like kind of really understood, that's what boundaries for me is. Like, this is where I stop here. You are more than allowed. You can go as far as you want in your decision making, but for me this is where I stop. And for me to have a relationship with you or whoever, I need to know where my stop is and where you continue. You need to vice versa know where I stop and where you continue. And when we have that kind of mutual dance,
it's so funny though. Like, the more you think about it, right? It's not something that you're necessarily taught at school. It's not a subject. You know, what's your next class?
Boundaries. I'll be like, I have a double period.
Imagine if you failed. you got to like exams and then you got to
I failed my boundaries class. Walk all over me.
Maybe I failed. No, I fucking failed. I'm gonna pull out those boxes of diaries and
the narcissist to be lying at it like, that's the one, we're gonna go for her. Yes, have you heard of that one? She failed boundaries class.
What a loser.
Let's go for her. Let's go for her. We can fucking manipulate that one.
I guess it's important though, right? So now that it's a common term in our world today, so I think I was doing it without thinking about it. Yeah. And obviously raising Jessia majority of the time as a single parent, I taught her those boundaries and how important they are without even realizing it. But now that it's a more common term in society today, I think, parents are more aware of it and making sure that their kids are understanding what this means.
I think even as you said that, I wonder as well if a lot of times the word is thrown around without really understanding what it is, you know. And I think a lot of times the people push the extreme, like boundaries are, this is what you can't tolerate. Is what people would define it almost as, which is when I first started thinking about it. I was like, this is my boundary, you know, and it's like, it's not necessarily what I will not tolerate. Yeah. But, you know, it's a spectrum of it, like the extreme spectrum, but by the time you get to that point, your boundary probably has been crossed ages ago. I can be aware of my boundaries. Yeah. What I choose to do with that is a different thing. So I think the awareness of your boundaries is what is really crucial. Because if you don't know where it is, that's when the abuse of your state of mind and your how you navigate life becomes a problem. Yeah. Because I can be aware of like this is crossing my boundary, but for the sake of I'm probably never gonna see this person again, so that's okay. Really, but I'm aware. Yeah. So I know whatever actions I take or however I'm feeling in the moment is because my boundary has been crossed. Yeah. You know, and I'm aware of it as opposed to not knowing.
Why do you think they're important?
It really, like I said, allows you to know how to interact with people. Yeah. And it allows you understand why you react to the actions of people, of other people. And I think it's really, really important because you can't control other people's actions. You can't control what people do. You can't control how far people are going to go with you. Because for most part, I find human beings you give them an inch. And this, I don't know whether it's just in my life or in our life, but people will take that mile and then some. And they'll build a garage and park as well in it. So if you give them an inch, then you really just it's one of those things that if you do not if you're not aware of where your boundaries are, you'll be taken for a ride.
Yeah.
Like you'll be in the fucking next county.
I've been for a few rides.
I'm sure.
My boundaries are tested. You know, in the last couple of years, I'm quite proud of myself of how I've dealt with them.
Managed them, yeah.
And managed them, navigated them, and communicated.
Was there any moment that stands out to you, or because you did always kind of have boundaries, but you have one where you're like, oh, that's what I've been doing. Oh.
I guess I could call some of the moments mistakes, and then not realizing, you know, shit, that isn't me. Why did I do that? And that's where the self-reflection comes in, and you can go, okay, that wasn't you. You did that. Maybe you were peer pressured, or you felt like it was, I don't know, you were going to be accepted more, or or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I can't think of an example. I'd love to think of one off the top of my head right now. Do you have any?
Don't I have so many? When I realize what boundaries are, it's like looking back on your life, and being like, that's why I was like that. And for me, I feel like a big one for me was when I had a big fight with one of my best friends. I think I told you about this fight. And he said something to me that was really interesting. It's like, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know, like, I don't know what you want. And it was basically just me expecting him to do things
something
for me, based off of stuff that I have always willingly done, regardless of whether I wanted to do it. In fact, painfully so, I have agreed to do things. And in many of those instances, you know, a simple like no would have sufficed. And he would have not thought any more of it. Like, oh, okay, cool, I get it. You're busy, you're tired, we're both working. You know, and I think for me that was when I had to look at it, like, actually, why are you mad? Like, you actually never, he doesn't owe you. Why do you feel he owes you something? Like, he is if he's gonna say no in this moment, that should suffice for you. Why isn't it enough for you?
So,
you know,
it comes down to the expectations of others as well, but it's because you hadn't communicated it to him. So that's why you were disappointed. And angry. He's oblivious.
Completely oblivious. Am I crazy for like expecting this? But I realized that the fundamentals I hadn't sorted. I was always yes guy. Everybody was always in my, like, you remember I'll tell you that I'd always be like yes to every invitation. I had issues saying no. No was not, and even till today I have to work on myself to say no. I find a way around it. You'd be like, oh, Kat, you want to do that? I'll see. Even though I know there's like 5 things going on there. I'm like, you're not in the country. You are not actually in the country that day. Like, why can't you just be like, no, I'm not here. Like, you actually have an excuse. Say no. But I had that issue with that word, which I only realized that because I didn't have boundaries and I didn't understand that word was so scary and was so negative. When no is really, it's not a negative word. No. It's just weighs the same as yes.
Boundaries are often connected to, or what people would think is only really connected to people in relationships. But it's with all types. It's everything. Friendships, co-workers, family members. It's like strangers in the street. Your boundary is you don't want this like dirty, smelly man who's walking down the street who wants to touch you and and say hello to you. You don't want him to do that.
And
doesn't mean
just because you might look a certain way or whatever. It's what you are comfortable and you're okay with. I looked back and realized how many people I felt were walking over me. how many times I was yesing and people were just taking it, and I'm expecting them to yes me back, or be available all the time, or do what I want, anything at any time, because I do that, because I had no boundaries. But they clearly did.
Yeah.
So when they said no, I'm always upset or angry, or and so I now flipped and said, okay, now I know what my boundaries are. Absolutely knows everything. I need to figure out what these are. If I do not like it, no. If I do not like it, boundary. If I don't like that, boundary. Boundary. And all of a sudden you find yourself in this prison.
Yeah.
That you've created.
Yeah.
And so I think that now leads us on to the next one, is that when do boundaries become barriers?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, what do you feel about this?
Personally, I don't feel like that there's any type of barrier or prison that I've created for myself, for others not to come in, or for me not to even go out. So I don't personally, but I can see how that can
develop.
That's a good word. Because I guess when your boundaries are constantly being tested, right, it does wear you down, and you feel beaten up, right? You feel like you've just been absolutely thrashed. So you become that kind of little bit,
reclusive.
Yeah, recluse, and almost, you could potentially become depressed, and it could lead on to other things. So you can see that, you've built that wall in that prison. And look, I've seen people do it and not really understanding that was what put them there.
Yeah.
That constant battle of trying to not be beaten up anymore.
And then I guess that leads to ask, like, again, if somebody is in a situation where they feel like their boundaries are constantly being tested, something in that equation, it means that, do you have too many boundaries? Because I feel boundaries are, to some degree, a protective thing. Yeah. But you will still get hurt. Just because you have boundaries, they shouldn't be like your bulletproof vest. Yeah. From any sort of hurt or any sort of negative interactions. Because you will still interact with people and maybe not agree with them. Yeah. But not agreeing with them and what they feel or believe or whatever isn't necessarily crossing your boundaries. Yeah. It's an interaction. And I think that's where the lines can get a little bit muddied. Because I feel if you have boundaries where they are constantly being hammered, you need to kind of question, like, okay, are those actually my boundaries? Yeah. Or because if your boundaries are so widespread that every interaction you have feels like a badger, that's always badgering you, then they're probably not necessarily, it's probably now more of a prison. It's probably now a barrier.
Do you think though that you could potentially be surrounding yourself with the wrong people?
If
it feels like a constant, then you're not in the right place.
Then you shouldn't be in that place. Yeah. Like, if they are constantly, then you're not on the same wavelength, and that is okay.
Yeah, totally.
You need to, if you've gone all that way to create those boundaries, and that's the thing, because a lot of times you grow up with people. Yeah. And they're like, oh, it's my bestie, my BFFs, we've been best friends since primary school, blah, 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 blah. But you've grown into two individual adults who have experienced life individually. So the boundaries that you're now going to create for yourself may not necessarily align with that. And then people keep trying to hold on to that friendship so much, and you're just constantly like, it's a Lego piece it's never gonna fit. Yeah. And the healthiest thing to do for that friendship really is
to just jog on
apart.
Yeah. Imagine if it's at work and you're constantly battling.
That's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like friends, that's okay, I can. Well, work, you have to.
Friends don't pay your bills.
They don't pay your bills, girl. And you don't have to see them every day.
What about family? You can't really.
That's another one. You know, that is a hard one because learning my boundaries, I realized that family can be the hardest one.
Yeah.
Know your boundaries. I say, okay, that's my boundaries. Doesn't mean, okay, you've crossed my boundaries, I'm turning away. You know, I should still be able to interact with you. Yeah. And like you said, like just because you've crossed my boundary doesn't mean deal and end all. Like, no. I'm aware of what my boundaries are. I'm aware that you are crossing them. I can decide what I want to do.
Where I place you in my life.
In my life. I can decide what I want to do.
I can be pleasant to you. It doesn't mean I have to hang out with you, spend much time with you. It doesn't
mean that we have to, you know, be BFFs. Yeah. And just because you have crossed my boundary doesn't mean I have to react. Yeah. All the time. Yeah. And that's the importance about the boundaries is not a defense mechanism. Yeah. It's kind of for you to be aware of here.
Okay, that person is
I can be like, oh, he's annoying me. I know where I will call this out. But because they've crossed my boundary. Like this is, I don't like this. Yeah. But am I in a scenario in work? Am I going to call her out on this? Am I going to try and reposition myself? And those kind of navigating tools are really important. So, okay, what happens when my boundaries are crossed? What do I do? Am I going to shut this person out? Is this person dead to me? Do I find other ways? And that's where I think, like, you know, therapy does help in navigating those kind of things.
Do you think, let's just say you haven't communicated a particular boundary with people and someone has tested it several times and you start communicating it, not to the fullest, but you start letting that person know, okay, that, whatever is
annoying me.
Annoying me. And explaining why and you know, maybe putting it out there to ask them nicely to not maybe do that thing again, or this is why I don't like this particular behaviour and I prefer not to be around me, and they do it again and you end up kind of cutting that person off. That's okay, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But do you think people, they don't understand it? It's kind of like, oh my gosh, this came out of nowhere. Like,
but this is the thing, and therein lies where that person's understanding, and that's the thing, because this is a two-way street. I have boundaries, and I realized that when I was always having all these issues with people, is because I didn't have any. I had no boundaries, and they did, and I was getting upset and doing things. Thankfully, from my point of things, that I was allowing things happen to me. But if I was, let's say, of a narcissistic nature, I would be the one inflicting things. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'd be the one realizing that this person has clearly stated a boundary and you're choosing to neglect it. What very narcissistic behavior, but they're choosing to neglect it for whatever reason. Either they're not aware or they don't care.
Yeah,
so you know that this person doesn't know or understand boundaries. They just aren't clicking. So you have a decision to make then. Hopefully it's not, you know, if it's a coworker and you escalate it, and that's why they have HR people.
At least you work for a company like me and I'm HR. No.
Whereas you fired bitch on the spot.
There are times, and there will be times, I think, where they will clash, but it comes down to the importance of the person. Yeah. You know, you're not going to really try and navigate through and communicate and compromise with some fuckwit from fucking work or something. I think it can be dangerous, and there's a lot of negative that can come out of, especially if you've got two really stubborn, headstrong people. I don't think that friendship or relationship will work.
And I think that's where that's a part of building a friendship. And that's why it's important to sort of maybe explore those things early. You know, and not get to the stage where, you know, and I can't imagine how deep a friendship can be if those clashes were existing.
But it's funny, right? We've talked about relationships before. When you're entering into a new relationship, you're entering, it's a risk because you're taking what they're telling you for gospel. And you can see why many relationships don't work because you know, there's that false
advertising
from the start.
You know, it's a Temu order. And you know, and that's the thing, because you bought it from Harvey Norman, but it really came from Wish. That's clear deception.
Is Wish still a thing?
Yeah.
Is it?
It is there.
Is
Temu
it?
has just taken over the market.
Temu's fucking stomped out.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're the same company. Communication is key, because even when you go into a new relationship, a certain type of personality who doesn't like confrontation or doesn't like those sort of scenarios. You may not know how to deliver your boundaries to someone because they may not know how to say it. Yeah. And then there was a funny thing I saw once that this and I thought it was really, really cool, was these two friends who had lived together for ages. So when they wanted to talk about their boundaries to each other, because they did not like confrontation, they used to do it in a weird accent. So they were both Irish, but they would talk in like an Australian accent.
Oh my god.
You know, I saw how when you do this, when you leave your thing over there, and they would. That was so bad. But yeah, I thought that was a good Aussie accent.
That's quite funny. We speak in different accents
all the time. Though, but that's for even it's not ever for I think for our boundaries we communicate pretty.
Oh
good,
fuck yeah! We're just this is
I do not like that. That annoyed me.
Pick up your fucking shit.
Bring in the bins!
There's the additional sexual boundaries as well that come into play.
That one I'm still navigating.
In this relationship
yes,
that you're in.
For everything. Because I'm going into my, my relationship era is starting. So
is it?
It's starting as of today. So I'm a very yes
ma'am.
To everything. Yes, ma'am, and then we can talk about it later.
Okay. Well, that's for another episode.
That's another episode, eh? Not too far in the future, I don't think.
I believe. But yeah, it's.
But yeah, how would you navigate boundaries in a sexual sense?
Quite easily. I have a list. I will not do this, and this, but everything else down.
Even in the heat of the moment.
No, you say it at the start.
How do you know that we're going to do that?
Well, we're not going to do that because I'm fucking telling what my boundaries are.
But, it seems very formal. You bring out the sheet. So today we are not gonna be doing. I'll tell you what. What's up for grabs tonight. This is the list of what you can. There's a maybe on this one. Depends on how I feel.
If you're gonna fucking say it like that, it's more like this is the menu. If it's not on the menu, don't ask for it.
That's actually better. So it's okay, then don't order. You're in Burger King, do not fucking order chow mein. Know who you are, because if you do not know who you are, it's going to be hard to set those boundaries. And I feel like that was the biggest part of difficulty for me earlier, even before I was even thinking about boundaries, even when I was getting mad at people, when all those things were falling apart because I didn't have boundaries. I realized I didn't have boundaries because I actually didn't know who I was. I wanted to be everything for everyone at every time. And not be things at one time, and then there was just such an inconsistency because I didn't know who I was, and I was still navigate just like a deer in headlights, just going. So I think it's really, really important to spend that time to figure out who you are as a person. Don't say, boundaries, because loads of people are saying, if your man does this and this, then you do this, because there are so many relationships that work very differently. There are so many relationships that I see people doing things that I'm like, oh, that would definitely, how are they, and they are thriving. I'm like, how are they managing?
Yeah.
Like that would really ick me or rub me up the wrong way.
Yeah.
But they know what their boundaries are and it works for them. And that's because they know who they are as individuals. And that's why if you don't know who you are as an individual, it'll be hard for you to navigate any other human being.
That's the thing, sometimes you don't know that you don't like that or how someone's treating you until it happens, and then you go, oh shit, okay, maybe I could set this as one of my boundaries.
And potentially lose that person, but you have to be aware that look, do I care for myself? Do I want to be healthy? Do I want to live a healthy adult life? Or do I want to constantly be in this position? How do I know my boundaries are good? How do I have good boundaries? And I wish when back in the day, if I stumbled across an amazing podcast like this and they were like giving me advice on
Talkback radio.
Yeah, so this is it. It's like, how do I know my boundaries are good? So we have like a few pointers to know whether your boundaries are good or not.
Okay. Is this like yes, no? Yes, no, quick brief?
Yeah.
Okay. People pleasing.
Yeah. If you're a people pleaser, your boundaries are probably that's poor boundaries. Because, if you're constantly trying to please people, you don't obviously know who you are and what you like and what you don't like. So you're just constantly saying, be the yes person. You want to make everybody happy. You're constantly being the one saying, oh yeah, yes to everything just to make people happy. But you have to realize that if you're actually making decisions, you cannot, if all the decisions you make are making people happy, then there's a problem.
Yeah. So you used to be a people pleaser?
I was, girl.
But you're not anymore?
I fight it.
You're getting better at it.
I'm definitely getting better, but it definitely, I feel like, I had to do it. Yeah. They can be whatever they are. I don't care if they're disappointed. I don't care. Okay. What was it? Saying no makes you feel selfish.
Definitely not. Yeah. Not me personally.
Yeah, but yeah.
Maybe it used to, but nah, not
because
now.
That would be also one of the signs that your boundaries are probably need adjusting. Because no, like I said earlier, it's not a negative word.
Yeah.
And I definitely had issues with no until today.
Apologizing a lot.
Yeah, I think that one also would be, and I think from that perspective, probably because you always feel like you're putting everybody else first.
Yeah.
So when you can't do something for them, or you can't, I'm so sorry. I'm like you can't do it, or why are you sorry?
If I needed to adjust any of my boundaries, it would probably be that one. Like I feel I apologize too much. Is that a reset that I need to do in my head more as opposed to and again it's the old me of people pleasing is almost still ingrained in there.
That's the thing.
So I feel like if I am saying, oh hey, no, sorry I can't make it, and I'm not sorry.
Yeah, because I can't.
Yeah.
You chose the date. It's different if you ask me what dates do I want.
Yeah.
Your date is just not, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And you find that you're constantly always apologizing for every little thing that you really can't do. So I think that's a good one. And that's why I feel it's important to introduce this early.
Yeah,
we spend so much of our adult life on learning things. And it's so much fucking harder learning something that's just not going into the habit.
Yeah.
So I think I love that now it's such a popular word. And parents are more aware of boundaries, and I'm like, I would. If I had it straight in, and I love that you gave Sia that, I can see she's such a well-adjusted adult. I look at her in awe because I'm like, God, if I was like that at that age, I would have the amount of mistakes I could have avoided in my life, and it's so evident in her life. You can see it in real time.
Yeah,
and it's so amazing and such a blessing. Well done to you, Mama. Oversharing a lot or understating.
Oh God.
Does that one resonate with you?
Yeah, I've always been an oversharer, and I'm learning to be less of an oversharer.
Yeah.
And it's even down to the point of when I'm telling a story about something that happened, I have to tell you the the 7 side stories to the lead up, the build up to the actual story.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel like that's just your storytelling technique, which I've come quite accustomed to. But it's also kind of like, I think when people are oversharing, like they don't honestly know where the boundaries are. They're like telling you, oh, like I squirt across the room, or I do this, and you're like, oh, I don't know you. Or they're like, oh, you meet somebody that's like, oh, I had such florid diarrhea. Do you always get diarrhea? And it's just like, oh, hi, my name is. And a lot of times it's people who do not have boundaries. Like,
I'm not.
Yeah, you're not that bad of an overshare, but that's obviously an extreme example. But even within, like, diarrhea version of that.
Not tolerating others not liking you.
I think that's a very big sign of boundaries. You don't have that. I think you're
no.
much. I think you don't care.
0. I would not care if not another person ever liked me again.
I didn't actually have that many people not like me.
Are you sure?
Because I was fucking at the boundaries, girl. So I can imagine how low your boundaries are if you say nobody did not like me. But I had no boundaries. So everyone, and that's why I had a lot of friends. But friends.
Yeah.
Because you were the yes man.
Yeah.
And it didn't mean that they liked you. Constantly feeling resentful all the time or feeling tired all the time. And that would have been me. And that used to always be my thing. People would ask me, how are you? Tired all the time. That was my answer, my go-to, whether or not I was. I used to be like, why do I always say that? Like, you're not tired, it's 9 in the morning.
So why would you say it?
Because I think mentally I was exhausted, because I know like I've walked into this space and anything can happen. Anybody's gonna ask me for anything. I have probably 5 things that I've said I'm going to. I'm juggling that in my head because I know I can't do them, but I have to do them because I don't want to upset them. And I'm going to everything and I'm trying to be everywhere and so
you're tired.
So you're physically tired and you get resentful because, like, I'll give the example, like, we may both have a friend, you have boundaries, I don't. Our friend is coming and they're like, oh, I want to go to that restaurant. And they're asking both of us. And I go with the boundaries you do, and you're like, no, I actually can't make it. I can't do it. It doesn't work for me. And then obviously it turns to me, and I'm like, oh okay, cool, I'll take you. And instantly, I'm now angry at you. Because I couldn't say no. Because I don't have boundaries. I don't have to be able to say no. That sort of scenario, and I have to not take them. But I could have also said, actually, no, it doesn't work for me either.
Yeah.
You find your own way. So you end up having these,
shoot of that is a resentment.
Yeah, so you start getting angry constantly at people, because instantly those interactions that have nothing to do with you. Like, instantly now I'm mad at you, I'm mad at that one, I'm mad at that one, I'm mad at that one, because of those kind of interactions that have gone over everybody's head. The person asking has no idea. I said yes. After seeing you say no, I could have easily said, oh yeah, no, it doesn't work for me either. And I'm here, I could have said, no.
You'll get over it like the next day or the day after, eh? And then you'll generally say something though.
When? Oh, this is not a real thing. You mean? This has not happened, has it? No, this has not actually happened, by the way. This is just like an example.
This is a
very vivid example. No, this has not happened. But it's that kind of thing. But I know, like, in the past, I would have found myself in this scenario where I am doing these things, and now I'd be like, oh no, I can't.
Do you think I say I'm good at saying no? If I
100%.
If I don't want to do something, I don't do it.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, you would not do. You either. And the thing is, again, you'd want to obviously say, you want to give them, make them not feel bad.
Yeah.
Or anything.
But not necessarily have an excuse, sorry.
Or tangible excuse. And that's the thing, it doesn't matter how I say no.
Yeah.
Once I do not find myself doing something that I do not want to do
Yeah.
for any reason, definitely my boundaries stay intact. If I do it and I'm upset or whatever reason, then that's because you have let your boundaries be breached.
Yeah.
So if I say no because my great grandmother died 5 minutes ago.
Don't you hate it though when you're like, oh no, look, I can't make it, I just can't really justify it. I can't financially, you know. And then they say, oh, don't worry, I'll pay for you. It's my shout when they say that.
And that's why, honestly,
fuck.
And that is where the boundary was tested. And you didn't lay the laws of the land down. And then they're now trying to, again, that person is, again, almost breaching. They're pushing it, and it's like, I don't financially feel okay. And it's like, I'm not paying for you, but it's like, why do you think I will be okay with that?
Yeah.
Like, do you not think that would make me feel some kind of way
shit.
when you offer? Yeah.
Like a poor cunt.
Yeah, I'm already telling you that I don't have the money for it.
Yeah.
You are not telling me, oh, no, I can give you that experience.
Yeah.
I just want you there. And that's another sign of somebody who does not understand boundaries.
No,
like,
respecting your boundaries, yeah.
Oh, no, I'll make sure you get there. I'll pay for you. It's like, but I will then still feel shit and be there.
Yeah.
So how, but yeah.
Funny. Before we wrap it up, I've just got a really super quick question for you. I'm wondering if you could tell me a celebrity who doesn't have any boundaries. Just off the top of your head, go.
Jack Black.
Oh, wow. You don't think he has boundaries?
Or Jim Carrey.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are the first two that came to your mind?
Yeah. What celebrity do you feel? I feel Jim Carrey it's too much.
Yeah.
Back the fuck up. Like.
It's funny you say that actually.
Why?
Well, I shouldn't have said celebrities, but just famous people.
Yeah.
People in the, When I thought of that, I thought of two people. Kanye West and Donald Trump.
Absolutely. But Donald Trump I think not having boundaries is one of the lowest problems in his whole.
Thank you so much for joining us in our journey of the boundaries and the discussion of boundaries or barriers. / prisons.
/prison. So don't find yourself in a prison of your own creation.
Do not.
Guys.
That's not cool.
Obviously, if you need help navigating and exploring this, definitely, like I said, special mentions to onlinehelp.co.nz. They're not sponsoring us or anything, by the way. It's just a good tool if you wanted to speak to somebody about any sort of mental health issues or what I call adult well-being issues.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Below. And thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
No. Just the same. But thanks.
Sayonara.
See you next time.
Bye.
Ka kite anō.